going on, everybody? It is episode 935 of Pop Culture Crisis. We are out of sorts here this afternoon, but my name is Brett, and I am here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, crisis actors. It's Mary. It's really only me who is out of sorts today, but not to worry. I'm getting it together. I'm just in that state of mind where it's just like one thing can go wrong and I crash out. But we'll recover from that quickly.
All it takes is one thing.
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad day.
We have a $20 super chat from Francisco Sanchez Jr. House NCIS person of interest. Start the counter. Happy Camelback Day, y'all.
You know what? Okay, here's the thing, buddy. Here's the thing, pal. I actually recorded a video today when I got in that's going to come out tomorrow about the death of the comfort show and why comfort shows are so important to us. And last night, or maybe it was like 2 days ago, whenever we had the last reset the counter moment on this show, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should go through my catalog of things that I like and find like more examples so that I don't have to use the same examples all the time. And then I thought, nah. I'm going to use whatever examples I want to use, and if you don't like it, that's not my problem, okay?
Wait, I thought I saw something in the chat. Never mind.
I thought I saw like a red super chat there for a second.
Are we losing it?
No, because I thought I saw that too.
No, I don't know what I saw.
That was freaking crazy. I was like, did we just get a $100 super chat? And then it disappeared.
Guys, make it happen.
I'm not kidding you.
I think that just means that we really want a crisis party to happen.
It must, because I saw the same thing.
A moment of collective consciousness.
I saw the same thing. That was crazy.
Felt like I was losing
it.
Maybe we are losing our minds and we're just like becoming schizophrenic.
That's completely
100. Be kind of fun. That's the vibe. Anyway, guys, Tate is not joining us today. Unforeseen circumstances. Obviously, Tate has a job outside of doing this show, so we have to be understanding of that.
Yes, guys, hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. If you were the person,
give us $100.
Like, if you were the person who sent that phantom red super chat that I thought I saw, but it's apparently gone. I'm losing my mind here, guys. I'm losing my mind. Hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Share the content out with right there.
Oh, really? It was real?
I mean, he might have just said it now because we said it.
Oh,
Francisco Sanchez Jr. says crazy.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
For making our dreams or our hallucinations a reality, Francisco Sanchez Jr.
It can't be.
You're an icon.
It can't be fake because I saw the same thing. There's no way we both thought we saw red. That was insane, guys. We are off to a hell of a start here. So again, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Share this episode out with everybody in your life that you both love and hate in equal measure. Big thanks to Francisco Sanchez Jr. for that. So what are we getting into today? We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Keira Knightley. She is off school-marming reporters, telling them, you know what? We're going to all have to learn to just get along on this big blue planet of ours. She said that because they asked her.
What's gonna work? Teamwork.
They said.
What's gonna work?
This was said because they're like, did you know that you're like working for a bigot and that some people are boycotting J.K. Rowling? And she's like, no. So we're going to talk about that, how the disavowals no longer work, how, the smear campaigns don't work in Hollywood anymore because people want to work. They want to make money. And J.K. Rowling makes a lot of people a lot of money.
I'm dying for the moment when J.K. Rowling finds a way to clap back at this. Where she's like, nah, F you, Keira Knightley. I don't need you to defend me.
Where were you in 2021?
Shut up! Like, yeah, I just want her to, like, go full, like, scorched earth on even the people who are trying to be friendly to her.
So not only that, guys, much to the chagrin of any and all feminists and progressive activists, the male gaze is back, and this time it's personal. Yeah. There was this very, very, and I do mean very, long-winded article with all of the overly intellectual language that you've come to expect from progressive writers talking about, all of the horrors of liking women to not be fat and wanting people on camera to not be ugly. So we're going to talk about that because, of course, it always comes back to men bad. So we're going to discuss it. We are also going to talk about, speaking of men bad, stay-at-home sons. This was something that came up. You were out of town. You were doing like a podcast appearance somewhere the first time that this came up, because it had to do with the Jeopardy guy who made the joke, and then I had to listen to Tommy Lahren give the most annoying speech in the world about stay-at-home sons.
Was that guy like joking the whole time?
He was
that was
joking.
not even real.
It was not real. It was something that became real because Fox News said it was, and then because Fox News said it was, we had to talk about it. The point being that now articles have been written and proof has been given that there are actually, and they're not just called stay-at-home sons, they're called stay-at-home hub sons. Can I get an icky on that one?
Oh, the boy moms have gone too far.
I mean, I've always said that the boy
They're
moms...
insane.
It's all bad. It's all bad, guys. So we're going to discuss that. We got a bunch of other stuff. If you're ready, Mary, we can just go ahead and get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go for it. Trust me, it starts off even worse here today, guys.
We're starting off with something really gross and vulgar. You know, I have to hand it to Kim Kardashian. She is really good at getting her brand name, Skims, out into the headlines. She is great at marketing, and not much else. Her last ad campaigns for Skims that got this much attention involved her Skims Ultimate Nipple Bra, where there are built-in fake nipples in the bra. And then following that up, there was a line of face shapewear that looks more like a full body cast.
Mewing.
Like you're recovering from surgery or something.
Yeah.
And the latest is the Skims brand new faux hair micro string thong that features fake bush. A fake pubic hair
Are the
patch.
women all right?
I don't think this really reflects the desires of women.
Okay.
I think this reflects the marketing strategies of Kim Kardashian, who is a very innovative...
Did she clear this with her lawyer, or is she her own lawyer now?
Why would there be legal issues?
Because
it's fake hair. It's not real hair, just so you know. They're not harvesting hair from anybody. No animals or people were hurt in the making of the Skims faux hair micro string thong. And on the website,
Ed Gein would love this.
Here's the selling point. With this iconic new panty, your carpet can be whatever color you want it to be. And it's already sold out. I mean, I know sellouts are fake. Thank you.
They are, a lot of the time.
All of these brands stage sellouts. Thank you, guys.
It increases value and interest when they're like, oh my gosh, this is a hard product to find.
Right. Resale value increases. So currently, if you go on the website, it's going to have you join a wait list for any of these colors that comes in. But you can choose different hair colors, different hair textures as well. Curly, straight, blonde, red,
Did the
want.
red hair go on sale right away because nobody wants it?
That's out of stock, they say. And the description here says, our most daring panty yet, handmade in super sheer stretch mesh. This string thong features a mix of curly and straight faux hair in 12 different shade variations, complete with elastic side straps.
The only way I will accept this is if you are playing a Wookiee in a movie and they need something.
Why would you be naked in the...
No, underneath
Are
the
Wookiees naked? Or do they wear clothes?
No, they're. I mean, if it's Bigfoot, they're naked, right? So.
Oh.
If I was watching some B movie like Yeti Spring Break, and it's a Yeti on spring break in Virginia Beach.
Here's the thing. I would okay. I don't think most women want this.
No,
I don't
nobody
think
wants this.
I don't think men or women want this. I don't think there was any market demand for this. This is just a publicity stunt for the brand.
Yeah.
They sell lots of normal products. They sell pajamas. They sell, normal bras and normal underwear. This is what gets them on the map. No one asked for this, and I don't actually believe that people wanted this product. Now, a lot of people are making this into some kind of social issue about stigma
it's
against
like,
pubic hair.
When Free the Nipple came about.
They're either saying that this is fighting back against stigma against pubic hair, or they're saying that Kim Kardashian is contributing to stigma against pubic hair with this product. One response said, the concept of making women believe their body hair is gross and unnatural, only to turn around and try to profit off of their insecurities when they could simply grow a bush for free. I think this is basically an accusation against Kim Kardashian, claiming that she has propagated the idea that female body hair is gross and unnatural.
Well, Ella Emhoff is working her hardest to prove that to be right.
I don't recall Kim Kardashian or really any of the Kardashians ever coming out and saying anything like that about female body hair, although they've been incredibly outspoken about getting laser hair removal on their entire bodies.
Because they're
Kim
Armenian.
Kardashian especially. They are Armenian. So she has said in the past, like, I'm Armenian, so you know I'm obsessed with laser hair removal. Here's what she said.
Being a girl is so fucking stupid.
She said, I lasered my baby hairs off years ago because my forehead had all of these baby hairs and I would always break out because of them. I also lasered my neck because I had such a hairy neck. Every photographer would Photoshop them out anyway, and I thought I looked better without the baby hairs, but now I miss them. I think they look youthful. And she told People in a separate interview, I have the hairiest forehead you could ever imagine. So in high school, I would wax it off because there was just so much hair. And then I would laser it off a little bit. If you Google 2008 or 2007, I had the craziest hairline. So I did laser it. And then they say she didn't draw the line from the neck up. In 2010, Kim Kardashian told Allure magazine that aside from her head, there is not a single hair on her body. She said, I'm Armenian, so of course I am obsessed with laser hair removal, arms, bikini, legs, underarms. My entire body is hairless. And to this day,
a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie.
Hey, Kim, ever hear the phrase solution for which there is no problem? I mean,
the problem is they needed more
promotion. She has to create the
promotion.
problem to sell the solution. And to this day, Kim and her sisters promote laser hair removal relatively frequently. They go to this laser spa that is in New York, I believe, called SEV Laser Aesthetics. And they post pictures from the spa with the tagged username. Mm-hmm. They probably get paid for those posts. And most recently that they posted that was like a year ago. So they make money off of promoting laser hair removal to their female followers. And then they sell them a faux replacement for the body hair that they allegedly influence these women into removing artificially.
That is a beautiful level of capitalism.
It's hypocritical, I suppose. I don't think it's like that level of academic importance that people are saying, but you know, I mean, she knows that this is going to piss people off. That's the point.
She would be in a movie. Kim Kardashian would be the supervillain who releases a plague just so that she can sell you the cure.
She's the Dr. Fauci of fashion trends.
She would be the one who knows how to win in both. She is the Xanatos Gambit. You know, she creates a reality where every pathway leads to a victory for her.
There was a follow-up here saying, I'm not specifically talking about Kim Kardashian. I never said she was single-handedly responsible for feeding women's insecurities. I thought that was obvious. I forgot people on Twitter don't know what general statements are. Oops.
That's true. People don't know it. For instance, I put up a tweet today that said, you're allowed to like things. And I got plenty of people being like, actually, there's plenty of things that you shouldn't like.
I mean, that's me. I'm always the team on like not letting people enjoy things.
You're allowed to like things. If you like this, you're allowed to. And everybody else is allowed to side-eye you if you do.
Do the Kardashians, Jenners profit off of women's insecurities? Yes.
Yes.
Do they create those insecurities? No. They existed already.
They're part of an ecosystem. You could make the argument that they're part of an ecosystem that exacerbates it.
Maybe, but
that's still...
I mean, especially if we're talking about the younger ones, Kylie especially, they grew up in a culture that already, fed women propaganda to alter their bodies artificially. That's why Kylie Jenner started getting lip fillers when she was like 16.
Yeah.
You know,
sad.
she didn't create the insecurities that women have. She did end up profiting off of them, hence selling her Kylie lip kits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's getting lip fillers to make her lips look like a baboon's anus, and then she's gonna sell women a lipstick as the means for them to achieve the same look, which is deceptive.
Yeah.
But they're not the evil mastermind supervillains that everyone thinks they are.
I'm wondering if there's going to be a whole host of like female satirists and comedians that are going to make content out of this. Probably. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
So I don't know if you guys are tapped into the same algorithm that I am on X, but lately I've been seeing a lot of AI generated images of Sabrina Carpenter if she were about 300 pounds heavier. And I just want to first walk you through this journey. Here is the original photo of Sabrina Carpenter from her appearance on Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
And this is the image of her as basically Rebel Wilson before Rebel Wilson lost all the weight.
Yep.
And people are using this image of Sabrina to express their food issues, I guess, online. The caption here says, "Ate the entire sub after I said I was going to save half for tomorrow." And they use the fat image of Sabrina to represent themselves. And then this other tweet says, "Craving broccoli cheddar soup, so I'm leaving to get broccoli cheddar soup." And this is the video version of it. They used Grok to generate this.
Bro, this is literally me like yesterday eating like a bag of poutine chips here at work and then coming home and be like, it's over for me.
We've all been
just
there.
07s to myself. Like it was just over for me, dude.
And then there's also this isn't like the original. This is the photoshopped skinny version of the fat photo, captioned "salad for lunch." And then we also have fat Sabrina Carpenter wearing a hijab
for no reason whatsoever.
for no particular reason.
Well, no pork on Fridays.
And then you can see the evolution of the meme here. Stage 1, initially the sign is a reflection of reality. Stage 2, the sign masks a basic reality. The image becomes a distortion of reality. Stage 3, the sign marks the absence of reality. The image calls into question what the reality is and if it even exists.
How existential.
Stage 4, the sign bears no relation to any reality whatsoever. It is its own pure simulacrum.
I'm side-eyeing you if you use simulacrum in a sentence these days.
So, I mean, yeah, you should be able to find this funny. If you can't find this at least slightly amusing, you are the friend that's too woke.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm the person who, like, anytime I would get new snacks, I would post a picture of the snack and put hashtag Fatphobic.
Guys, we need an AI-generated image of Brett at 400 pounds,
I mean,
please.
that's, like, just me last year.
We need to make Fatphobic happen.
I literally posted, like, a story post last night. Like, I bought a hoodie last winter that I was, like, that I bought because the store was going out of business. It was, like, $5, and I did not fit into it. I wore it yesterday, so I stay winning. That's right. I'm basically the
no Ozempic.
I'm the thin Sabrina Carpenter of this meme.
No Ozempic, just pure hustle.
Yeah.
So here are some of the outraged responses to the Fat Sabrina meme. "That edited picture of Fat Sabrina is the unfunniest thing I've ever seen in my life," says one. Another said, "I know I might incur the wrath of the 'it's not that deep' fanatics, but the use of AI Fat Sabrina Carpenter as a meme to discuss your poor relationship with food is actually effed. It's bad enough you turn actual fat women into memes / lolcows, but now you're creating it yourself." Another person said, "Our planet is melting, so gay men on Twitter can distort women's bodies with AI for stupid tweets like this. I hope she sues all of you."
This just looked like Photoshop, not AI. Not everything is AI.
I think they used
I'm sorry.
Grok
I don't care.
to-
The more that you get mad at the environmental impact of AI, the more I want people to do it. I do not care. I am that nihilistic about it because your self-obsession and your self-importance, because somehow you using Photoshop instead of somebody else using Grok is saving the planet. You deserve to be memed until you are underwater from all of the greenhouse gases or whatever the problem is with all of the data centers that are being built.
We are, in fact, mowing down rainforests. For fat Sabrina Carpenter memes.
If that's what it takes,
there's nothing you can do to stop it.
I don't care what corner of the data center that had to be built to make the Sabrina Carpenter meme. If it makes you angry, I support it.
Another person said that AI fat Sabrina pisses me off so much. Like, we get it. You think fat people are punchlines instead of people. Okay, you can die now. Another one said, I think the fat Sabrina Carpenter meme is nasty and fatphobic, judging you all for using it. And the casual fat phobia and use of AI is becoming way too normalized. There's not one single aspect of editing someone's body that's funny. Here's the thing. I think that it would be way more offensive if they were subtly photoshopping Sabrina's photos to look like she's just slightly overweight, so that it's just believable enough that you're like, damn, Sabrina's kind of letting herself go. When you see the photo of Sabrina at like 300 pounds heavier, you know it's fake.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's offended at all.
I mean, the meme should have just been her getting slightly fatter, and then the final panel, it's just Rebel Wilson.
Yeah. I have unironically seen men saying that Sabrina Carpenter, as she is in reality, is like too fat, which is pretty ridiculous. She's tiny.
She's tiny. She's like 4 feet tall.
She is the living embodiment of a Polly Pocket.
Yeah, she's tiny. I can't with the self-importance for this.
You should be able to find this amusing, or at the very least inoffensive.
It's not offensive.
If you're offended by this, yeah, your brain has been rotted.
I think it actually speaks to the type of person that's terrified at the idea of trying to make some changes to themselves or being able to but their inability to laugh at this indicates to me an inability to laugh at themselves. Like the idea of the eating this, going and eating the rest of the sandwich, therefore you're fat Sabrina Carpenter. It has nothing to do with Sabrina Carpenter. If anything, it's actually pointing towards you.
Right.
Her photo is just the image that's used to give you the shorthand, which is what memetics are.
That's the whole point of memes, is that you see yourself in the meme. It's not really about the person in the image.
It's like, I posted the one the other day. It's like my opinions on the tax rate for candy. When you're like dads on their opinions for the candy tax rate during Halloween, and it's like the Gadsden flag and it becomes Bernie Sanders. Like, I can laugh at Bernie Sanders because we all know what that means, where they're making a joke about how you're going to take your kids candy. Like, people are just too easily offended by something like this. And I doubt Sabrina Carpenter would find this offensive. She's too busy to find this offensive.
No.
Plus, when you don't look that way, it's easier to laugh.
Right.
Yep.
So I guess this should be seen as a step above just making fun of an actual fat person, right?
Yeah. What do these people clutch pearls at like caricature drawings?
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see like Instagram reels every once in a while of someone sitting down for a caricature artist, and then they get offended and start crying over the finished drawing.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you paid the guy to make fun of you. What do you expect?
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. I'm all for a continued use of this meme. Like, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Dare I try to shift the conversation? Like, what's another like popular meme right now? Like, what memes are making their way online? Well, do you want to explain what that was? Because I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I sent this to Brett last night. People are joining a movement against big tech. They're protesting big tech by making Clippy the Microsoft clip art character, their profile picture, because Clippy never hurt us, and Clippy never mowed down any rainforests.
Okay, so kind of like what they do with Tom from MySpace.
Yeah.
Tom from MySpace would never
the
hurt
unproblematic you. Big tech CEO.
He would have he would retire and go on to become a travel photographer.
Wait, why are you wondering about what's what are the memes right now?
Well, I'm just saying, like what's the other most offensive meme that you're seeing these days? Like, I don't see many in a lot of ways that actually seem. But granted, X isn't a place where people tend to get offended by memes. At least not my corner of.
I just don't think
internet.
That way, so I guess it doesn't clock to me.
Yeah, it's not clocking.
It's not clocking to me.
Okay.
And you know what? The fat Sabrina Carpenter looks like a happy person.
She does.
She looks like she's having a great time.
Like here's the thing. I get a lot of like fitness content sent to me, or like stuff. It's like things that I used to. It's this one channel. It's like things I used to do when I was fat, and he'll show you like all the stuff that he used to, like the ways he used to behave. He's like the pillow hug, where you sit down and you're hugging the pillow, the shirt pull. Where it's like all this stuff. I'm like, damn, hits kind of hard, right? Like that guy can laugh at himself because he lost the weight, and Sabrina Carpenter doesn't even have to laugh at herself because she never gained the weight to begin with. You're offended on her behalf and what you think it says about, I guess, about fat phobia in the year 2025 when nobody cares.
I think former fat people have some of the toughest skin when it comes to fat jokes because they've been on both sides of the joke.
Yeah. Yep.
They have a tougher constitution when it comes to that.
All right. What would you like to see, cringe or cute of the day?
Let's see the cringe first.
Okay.
I can't spoil this one.
That bad.
It's just not going in the direction you think it is.
All right,
That's
here
all
we
I
go.
can say.
When my baby got out of school, he said, "Mama, do people eat Sunday food on Fridays?" I said, "Baby, people eat whatever their money can afford." He was like, "Do our money afford fried chicken and cheese potatoes with some corn cheese?" I said, "Corn cheese?" But I know what my baby mean. Not to mention, we had a good day at school.
Was those homemade goldfish?
I couldn't tell.
So I went ahead and made him fried chicken, cheesy potatoes, some corn, and cheese with his favorite cookies. My baby would tear some chocolate chip cookies down to the ground. Now, he really think that this is fruit punch, so I let him think that all day, but it's water. We haven't had no accidents in the bed or nothing. And he had a really good day, so I'm excited to see his reaction. And the way he runs out that door, I just know he know. I usually don't let him have anything to drink before he eat his food, but you know. And look how he ate it. He's so memorable. No, I did not know my baby eat ice.
I hope those weren't chocolate chip cookies. They're not supposed to eat chocolate, right?
But at least he knows to eat his cookies last. I guess we'll see y'all next week.
Okay.
It was a dog. It was all for a dog.
Well, you know, it's her fur baby.
Why does it have a backpack and a school lunch?
I have no idea.
This is a waste.
Yeah, you want to talk about
And you're not supposed to feed dogs corn. What?
Talking about the collapsing birth rates here, people.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Okay. Cue of the day. This one's from Katie. Hey, Pop Culture Crisis. This is my dog, Pepper, sleeping on her favorite couch of the house. She is my best friend. She is a rescue dog. She looks very cozy.
It looks like you would never feed your dog chocolate chip cookies.
Don't do it. Don't feed it chocolate chip cookies. It's bad for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's
Very
a very
cute.
cute. That's a very cute dog. All right. Let's move on. Let's get started.
Yeah. So Keira Knightley was recently in a press interview for a movie that she has coming out soon. And unrelated to that movie, a journalist tried to bait her into disavowing J.K. Rowling. I think this is, her reaction is a sign that actors are done playing the disavowal game. She basically laughed in the journalist's face and talked to the journalist as if they are a kindergartner.
She school-marmed her.
Which was entirely appropriate for the position that they put her in. She didn't outright defend J.K. Rowling in this clip, but she basically told the audience that they need to learn to, live in the same world as people who disagree with them. So let's just see her reaction here.
Her eyes are like, you never want a woman making that face at you at the beginning.
Saw your voicing Professor Umbridge in the new Harry Potter audiobooks. I was wondering, are you aware that some fans are calling for a boycott, giving J.K. Rowling's ongoing campaign against trans people?
I was not aware of that, no. I'm very sorry. I think we're all living in a period of time right now. We're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions, so I hope that we can all find respect.
That was all that needed to be said.
Hold on, let me play it one more time for you guys.
I think we're all living in a period of time right now. We're all going to have to figure out how to live together, aren't we? And we've all got very different opinions. So I hope that we can all find respect.
Literally, she hits you with what the teacher would have hit you when you got into a disagreement with somebody on the playground. Like, where she goes, Timmy?
Can we all get along today? Can we have a nice day?
Use your words.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling's opinions can't hurt you. I also was unaware that there was a boycott campaign against the Harry Potter audiobooks.
That's not going to work.
I'm pretty chronically online, and I didn't know that existed. But Keira Knightley is voice acting in one of those audiobook roles.
They said what, she's going to be playing
Professor
Umbridge?
Umbridge.
Okay.
Yeah. She has just the right amount of British posh accent for it.
Look.
But yeah, here were some of the responses. Keira Knightley's laugh says it all. Trans extremism has peaked and no one is afraid of it anymore. Another one said, Keira laughs and looks away and says basically that people are going to have to get over themselves. I think it's the first time I've seen a celebrity deal with this kind of disingenuous question so cleanly. Well done. And this is the type of celebrity interview that I would like to see more of. They always, you know, it's been years at this point where you have plenty of bad examples to model your own behavior off of. You don't have to take the bait. In fact, she could have just responded by saying, no, I was not aware of that.
Yep.
Next question. The next question should hopefully be about the movie I'm promoting. Alongside, I think it was her co-star that she was with in that video.
And they were like, went up to the actors and Tron. They're like, were you aware of the mounting level of allegations against Jared Leto? They're like, I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Guess we're all going to have to learn to just get along.
Yeah, exactly. But given J.K. Rowling's response to Emma Watson's recent comments on her gender ideology views, I'm kind of hoping just in like the most toxic part of myself that J.K. Rowling responds to Keira Knightley with some diss for no reason.
I don't think I mean, she did that to Emma Watson because there's so much history there.
Yeah.
I don't think she would do that. That would be very weird. It would be a bad look if she did that to Keira Knightley.
Well, Keira Knightley is someone who's currently working with J.K. Rowling's franchise. Emma Watson is just, you know, an alumna.
I also like the idea that J.K. Rowling's like, bullshit, we have to all get along.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not going to get along with people who disagree with me. Fuck you. Like, I just want her to respond with some, like, insane clapback for no reason. I just want her to be toxic for no reason. Here were some of the comments on TikTok. Why are human rights suddenly opinions? That laugh says she's not sorry. Good for you. You learned to detect sarcasm. Here was another one. I can't believe they didn't media train her for this answer. Any media trainer worth the money would tell Keira Knightley to respond exactly the way you just saw.
Yep.
But most of the time...
What they mean by media training is a media trainer that 100% agrees with them. And will tell you to answer in the way that they want you to, not the way that's most applicable to the widest audience. Which is that, you know what? It's a big world out there. There's going to be a lot of people that you come across in your life, and a lot of them are going to have different opinions than yours. Might we all just get along?
Mm-hmm. Recently, a friend of the show, Vanessa Santos, was interviewed for a piece in Variety.
I saw that. About
her work as a publicist for a lot of right-wing media figures. And one of them is Drea De Matteo. They also interviewed Drea De Matteo in the piece. And basically, Drea De Matteo says, like, I was getting all of this backlash for being skeptical or critical of vaccine mandates. And people in my industry were pressuring me to acquiesce to that backlash and apologize. And they were coming up with all of these crisis PR strategies for me. But when I talked to Vanessa, she said I should lean into it and be more outspoken about my beliefs and instead take press interviews with people who are willing to hear me out and not necessarily agree, but just treat you like a human being.
Yep.
And you know, most people in PR don't have that mindset. They have the mindset of, like, you know, containing the storm as much as possible, which in reality only exacerbates the controversy.
These days it does.
If Keira Knightley sat there and gave the journalist what she wanted, a disavowal of J.K. Rowling and a statement that she is an ally to the trans community, I think she'd actually face more blowback.
Yep.
That's how much
They're like, well, why did you sign up
this
for
issue
it to
has
be,
changed.
Why did you sign up to work with her to begin with?
Yeah.
If you're such an ally.
Right.
They were doing that to John Lithgow when because he has played trans characters in movies and television and has always seemed like somebody that they thought of as an ally. So when he took on the role of Dumbledore for a money truck that I'm sure was backed up into his front yard, like any normal person, they put their own selfish interests above an amorphous group that isn't a singular person. You may put the needs of your family above your own. You may put the needs of your friends above your own if you're a really good friend. But when it comes to either your own needs or an amorphous, unknowable group that isn't really, it's nameless and faceless other than an ideology, you're going to choose your own. You're going to choose your own well-being.
And John Lithgow as well is like, bro, this is my last role. Like, I'm literally about to die. I don't care.
He's like, I'm trying to not Richard Harris this shit. Like, I'm trying to get this shit done before I bite the bullet.
Here is another comment. I will absolutely not be finding respect for people who are against human rights and decency. No man has the human right to reside at a women's abuse shelter. That's not a human right.
That is the J.K. Rowling stance that has upset themselves.
No man has a human right to sit on a toilet in a women's restroom and take selfies in the mirror in makeup and a dress. That's not a human right. I don't know. I'm just like fatigued, like it seems most actors are, with even commenting on this anymore because the issue has fallen out of favor. I think there was, you don't want to take any poll as like evidence of a happening, but there was recently a survey that found like, I think Gen Z college students that identify as neither male or female, that number has plummeted in recent years, the last few years. Because it's not fashionable anymore to align yourself with that community. And it was a fashion statement to begin with. That's proof of it. So this just isn't a fashionable stance to take. There are some that are more fashionable, like, being against ICE or
that's where
climate change.
That's what they're talking about now.
You can pick a different pet issue, but this is not the one to stand on business for. And
in
I also,
5 years, it'll be a different one.
I also wanted to mention Miriam Margolyes, who played Professor Sprout in the Harry Potter movies. She has not recently commented on J.K. Rowling or the franchise in general, but this is an important reminder that she issued to people.
I worry about Harry Potter fans because they should be over that by now. It was 25 years ago, and it's for children. I think it's for children, but they get stuck in it. I do cameos and people say, oh, we're having a Harry Potter themed wedding. And I think, gosh, what's their first night of fun going to be? I can't even...
Well, imagining that it's their first night of fun shows how old you actually are, because that's likely not the case. But let's continue.
Think about it. No, Harry Potter is wonderful. I'm very grateful to it. It's over.
There's actually kind of a disconnect there, which is that one of the things that artists love to do, and I'm not saying that Miriam herself does this, but they always kind of tout the importance of art, of what they do. And I talked about this a little bit in the video I made today, which is that, the TV shows of old, the reason why comfort shows work is they stuck with people. They helped them through hard times. She's kind of going the opposite route here. She's like, okay, it's time to grow up.
Pack it up, y'all.
I read this tweet from Leah Remini, who said, like, to this day, she gets messages from people who are like, look, King of Queens was a big deal to me when I was younger, and I still watch the episodes when I'm feeling down. And she's like, I'm very grateful that I can be that what I created or what I helped create could have played such an important part of your life. Miriam Margolyes is like, get the hell over it and go have sex with your wife.
Well, I think that they're both right in a way. Like, to be uncharacteristically nuanced for my usual takes, I think they're both making a good point. Like, yes, you can return to a nostalgic franchise or a movie or a TV show for comfort, and we all do stuff like that. Like my comfort show is Frasier, but also don't live in a state of perpetual adolescence.
That was in the article that I was kind of pulling from today. They talk about how there is such a thing as too much of that, which ends up being detrimental to
I agree with that take. And there are so many adults who grew up with Harry Potter that are still emotionally attached to this franchise in a way that makes them lash out at J.K. Rowling for like ruining the magic for them. That's where you take it too far. Like and by the way, she got so much backlash for saying this, like in this very tongue-in-cheek way. People were so offended. One comment said, "Adulthood is so stressful. We adults look for anything to make us smile, even if it's a show from 25 years ago."
Okay, that's
you
true,
just
but that doesn't mean you have to say that.
Sound like a self-pitying, wallowing little sop. Like, yeah, she's right. You need to grow up. And then recently, she spoke on how she is unapologetically woke. She said, I am a left-wing bike, and I love it. I love being a lesbian. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's great fun." And
she sounds like the type of person that I think almost everybody would like to have if I still drank alcohol, I would like to go have a beer with this woman.
Yeah, she seems like a blast.
At a pub. I
Right.
want to go to a pub and ask and have her tell me stories.
And like eat shepherd's pie. Yeah, she has a very comforting energy. But actually, given her age, identifying as a lesbian up until very recently corresponded to a certain anatomy. And that would suggest to me that perhaps she's sympathetic to J.K. Rowling's views. But that's just a guess.
Yeah, I mean, and it's nobody's business to put those words in her mouth. It's her choice to speak on it. But, you know, being what it is, what I would like to see is for all of you out there, if perhaps you are one of these media trainers or you're one of these publicists, I want you to click and capture that Keira Knightley video, and I want you to train. You'll probably have to train the men a little bit different because it was, like I said, it was very school marm. Like the men will have to be trained in a different way, but for the women, they should look like they're like two like preteen boys just fought on a playground. And she goes, "Well, boys, I think we're all going to have to learn how to just get along on this big blue planet of ours. And wouldn't it be nice if we could all sing Kumbaya and just get along, even though we may not always agree on everything? Can't we agree that we're all humans?"
A++ to Keira Knightley. And a smiley face sticker.
Yes.
I think she deserves that.
All right, let's do a couple of super chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, "Happy Wednesday, Brett and Mary. I did not have Tim starting a turf war with Liquid Death on my bingo card, but I'm here for it. I got my popcorn ready." Yeah, if you guys didn't catch this earlier today, Tim has started a beef with the Liquid Death brand of canned witch water. They put curses on it.
Yes.
So a lot of Christians don't want to drink their water. But Tim's problem with it, on the other hand, is that
the cans have like plastic on the inside or something?
Yeah, they posture about reducing plastic waste, which in Tim's opinion misleads people to think that they're plastic free with their aluminum cans, but most canned drinks have the interior lining of plastic to prevent the liquid from interacting with the metal. So
I feel
he
like
called them out, and now they're getting into this weird, snarky back and forth online, and it's just not a good look. And now the founder of Liquid Death has challenged Tim to a face-to-face debate about their brand decisions. And my only hope for the outcome here is that Tim gets a lifetime supply of free Liquid Death out of this.
I feel like you can be edgy with your like wannabe alcohol looking cans, or you can be environmentalist. I don't feel like you should. You can either curse your cans or you can be an environmentalist. I don't think you should be able to be both.
I'm just wondering, like, who is this sassy intern running the Liquid Death X account?
Yeah.
And what gave them the audacity to speak to people like this? Like, you're a brand. Yeah. Not an individual. You can't be snarky at your customers online.
Yeah,
I never liked that.
I just
I don't care for their tone.
I thought Richie used to be sponsored by
Was he?
Liquid Death or something. Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm one of those people where, like, when by the time I see anything online, and I'm online a lot. I currently don't have X on my phone, but sometimes I have to put it back on if it's like on Wednesdays because I need like I help look for topics for IRL. But like, there's like by the time I've caught the thread, 90,000 people have responded. The lore has expanded, and I'm like, I'm moving on with my life. Life is too short. So I see Tim arguing with Liquid Death, and I'm like, that's probably vaguely interesting. And then I keep scrolling.
Well, it's like you don't get the reference, but in SpongeBob when they're selling chocolate door to door and you just have to keep opening the bags to find the chocolate and they're like 25 layers and you have to keep clicking on every quote tweet, every reply.
I hate that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that ends up being one of those things. So one of the hardest things for me is when a topic to discuss comes on like a Friday night, because by the time Monday comes around, 30,000 people have shared their opinions on it. And I've seen something interesting in all of them. And I lose my train of thought and I don't know how to kind of coherently pull it all back together in like a reasonable fashion. Best to get to it early. Maybe you catch one or two other opinions that you can kind of use as context for whatever your own thoughts are on it. But once it gets past that, I'm like, oh, somebody else said this one really interesting thing. And Mary can attest. Pretty much anybody who knows me can attest. They'd be like, oh, I read this interesting thing. And they're like, what was it? I'm like, I watched this video. It's really interesting. Oh, what was it? I suck at explaining back something that I found very, very interesting. So by the time I get through the thread on Liquid Death, I'm like, bro, it's water. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I still would like to see the debate though. Liquid Death on Culture War to debate about microplastics. Like,
does Tim like aggressively give them like one of these Icelandic waters?
We do have plastic bottled water in the office, by the way. Like, you're looking right at it, so.
I do want to point out,
this is not a plastic-free company.
I don't know what all the BS about pH levels is in the water. Like when you go to like the store and you have like the different pH balanced waters you could get, as like the existence of the person who knows what that means is an existence I don't want to live.
Look, I know that Liquid Death doesn't sell coffee, but if you're looking for an alternative beverage, you might want to head over to castbrew.com and grab yourself a bag of Mary's Ghost Blend, the s'mores flavor, for your Halloween season campfires telling ghost stories.
And with that being said, let's move on.
This show is sponsored by Mary's Ghost Blend. Okay, guys. So the male gaze is back. Journalists somehow are the most affected. And there is an op-ed in CNN that's getting dunked on right now titled, "After Years of Progress on Gender, the Male Gaze is Back." This is written by journalist Madeline Holcomb. And regrettably, I read the entire thing. It was painfully long. The things I do for you people, things I do for this job.
It really did just keep going.
I don't know if I'll ever recover. And this girl, she would have been better off graduating from college with a journalism degree like 10, maybe 15 years ago, getting a cushy job at BuzzFeed to write think pieces like this. But we're just so past the point of anyone finding this commentary interesting in 2025. I almost find it unbelievable that this was published because the entire thing is just talking about
the Mary Sue would still publish this.
The Mary Sue, like they would talk about like the Bechdel tests of it all, and like it's just like what is this? Is this Anita Sarkeesian?
Yeah.
Reanimating like the ghost of Gamergate past? Like, I don't understand why this is still being talked about.
10 years ago, it would have been very interesting to progressives, and to everybody else, it would have been infuriating. But maybe it's just you get there quicker if you work in this area, so you're kind of surrounded by this stuff all day, every day. I read this stuff and I'm like, well, it doesn't comport with reality, so I don't care. Like they can push back all they want. They can use all the fancy language they want. They can cite all of the doctors and the college professors in the social sciences they want. And it doesn't matter because normal people don't care about this stuff.
Well, Shoe on Head posted the headline and said, terrible news. After a decade of trying to socially engineer what men find attractive, they still find attractive women attractive. Sadly.
Crazy.
Let's just dive in, why don't we? This summer, I got cultural whiplash. As a child of the 90s and early 2000s, I grew up with my mother's and grandmother's generation's fight for legal and workplace equality, helping shed social misogyny. What she means by that is we changed all the laws to make everything equitable, and now we have to chase this endlessly shifting goalpost of utopian equality between the sexes, which can never be a fight that's won. That's the entire point.
It's like a nonprofit. The whole point
Yes.
is that to defeat it would negate its need to exist, and they don't want to do that.
Feminist journalism exists to perpetuate the need for its existence. So she continues, in the past decade in particular, I saw the evidence of progress in my media diet. The movies, shows, books, and advertisements I consumed were increasingly giving women a seat at the table. Heroin chic fell away, and body positivity entered the fashion world. Stories about a woman stealing your man were traded for celebration of the girl's girl who resisted competition for men's attention.
Where does Morning Glory Milking Farm fall into these categories? I'm just curious.
That is a really good question. Because we may have traded the male gaze that objectifies women for the female gaze that objectifies men. And not in the exact same way, obviously, because men are more visual creatures. But if you read any of these so-called romantasy books and look at their vulgar covers, you will see that men are just being this in the same way objectified. In these stories, they're seen as accessories to the female story, the female fantasy. And I don't think there's any reason to like deify, to valorize that type of storytelling over any other.
You know who they do question the sex appeal of at Marvel? Scarlett Johansson and Black Widow. You know who they do not do that for? Any of the men who are shirtless any of the time. And those are movies that used to be theoretically for men.
And she says, when my husband and I got married earlier this year, our vision of what our life could be included wide-ranging possibilities, influenced in part by the movies and shows we grew up with. We saw, read, and listened to stories of involved fathers, successful mothers, and well-matched partners who supported one another. I don't know what she's talking about, because the stories that she's talking about, these progressive stories, spotlight single career women.
Yes.
And single moms, too.
Yeah.
Where are all of these involved fathers in stories?
Yeah.
I've been seeing idiotic oafs
Homer
of
Simpson
men.
syndrome forever.
What is she talking about?
There's a 20 there.
From Gordon Shumway. The male gaze never left. Why else do women spend so much time and money to look good? They want the attention from both genders. She should have just been honest. She doesn't like guys she's not attracted to looking.
I mean, that's not really her purpose here is to discuss more the media side, like the front-facing media side of misogyny and sexism in current year.
It seemed like women were taking a deeper breath without such heavy cultural restrictions. Then there was a shift. Was it around the 2024 presidential election or since the overturn of Roe v. Wade? Maybe when men's rights activists pushed back against Me Too. Whatever the catalyst, a change in the political environment seemed to connect with a social change that brought back narrow and at times constrictive ideas of womanhood depicted in media. The recent rise of weight loss medications coincided with social media influencers sharing ways to get smaller and no longer celebrating bodies of all sizes. Advertisements followed suit, making men's desire once again a dominating factor in how stories are told and how women are portrayed.
Do gay women not find those women attractive too, or are gay women only attracted to like fat women?
I mean, I've seen my fair share of morbidly obese lesbian couples. I don't think they're really a group to gauge interest off of. But, okay, here's the thing. We didn't shift from the male gaze dominating media to the female gaze dominating media. We went from the male gaze to the nobody gaze. We went from some
Who is
people
this
like
for?
this to literally no one likes this.
Yeah.
And the only people who claimed to like it were people in the media class.
Yes.
Nobody wants to see
Which doesn't sell copy.
morbidly obese fashion models. Nobody wants to see obese women on magazine covers. Nobody truly wants to see men advertising makeup. That was another ad campaign mentioned in this piece that was by Elf Beauty. They used Matt Rife as one of their brand ambassadors recently and got a lot of backlash for it because of his offensive jokes about domestic violence, etc. Elf responded without an apology or a retraction, but they said one of the reasons they hired him is because his fan base is made up of a lot of women under the age of 34, which is their target demographic. So it was understandable that they made that decision. But I'm thinking more about the campaigns from like 10 years ago where they put James Charles, the new male makeup artist, as the face of CoverGirl. He's the first cover boy. And like maybe that appealed to a small section of their female consumers, but it wasn't mass appeal. And we've realized that over the past decade.
When
we went
Mary
from the male
says-
gaze to the nobody gaze.
And when Mary says nobody, for the people that are going to be intellectually dishonest, she means nobody of any meaningful amount that would move sales or sell product.
Yeah, and of course they make mention of Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle campaign. I'm just so tired of hearing about it. But
They mentioned the Bechdel test in
they
here.
said the ad sells jeans to women featuring Sydney Sweeney, who many men see as a sex symbol, insinuating the clothing would make men find them more attractive.
Look, I'm sorry. When I buy shirts, okay, when I buy the shirts that I buy, not the white ones from Fruit of the Loom, no advertising needed for that. But when I buy regular shirts, they're worn by dudes who I look literally nothing like. And plenty of people will be tricked into being like, well, why doesn't this shirt look like that on me? 'Cause you're fat.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not in the same shape as that guy. That's called normal. Okay, that's their job, is to market a product in the most pleasant way possible. And the model's job is to basically be a hanger to show off the product in its best light. That's just normal, and you're literally railing against the base level of product, of selling product, of capitalism.
I just don't even buy the argument that women ever felt oppressed by commercials with beautiful women in them. Like, I don't think that was ever a real concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No.
I don't understand where this idea came from that, like, little girls play with Barbie dolls and then think that they have to look like Barbie dolls.
They don't. They don't.
Like, speaking from experience, I played with Barbie dolls growing up. I thought that I looked like a Barbie doll already. Never caused me any insecurities. Never made me think about like whether her body proportions were realistic enough. This is all pretty much projected onto the consumer that never felt this way to begin with, to fuel a social propaganda campaign that failed. Okay, so she continues here, and she interviews a lot of the experts, professors and sociologists, lab coats.
We're not buying it anymore. People bought it 10 years ago. They're not buying it anymore.
These professors say most typically the male gaze is about representing women in media solely to satisfy heterosexual men. If you are observing women in movies, TV, fashion, social media, and marketing, they don't feel as fully materialized as their male counterparts. That is the male gaze. The woman's value is reduced insofar as existing for pleasure or basically an object. It's Bond girls and a long lingering shot panning up a woman's body in an advertisement for soda. It's when an action movie accessory is running through explosions in tiny shorts and flowing curled hair before collapsing helplessly into the hero's arms.
When the hell was the last... No, seriously, when the was the last time that was like, when was the last damsel in distress character you saw from a woman in a movie? And even if you have got an example from me, for me, that's like recent, don't even pretend like that's some type of ongoing theme.
Yeah,
That's the most disingenuous argument I've heard in a very long time. They go out of their way to make sure that the female characters are written with more depth than that now.
Not that that's necessarily a good thing or something anyone
I
asked for.
I started rewatching old episodes of the show from 2011. It was called The Transporter. It was based on the movies with Jason Statham. And I could not believe how pulp it was. Like, all the women are like inappropriately dressed and can't save themselves. They could not do anything other than scream in the car as he's driving. And I'm like, they would never do this now. She'd be a hacker doing something on a computer in the car while he's driving now.
Or telling him how to drive.
Even in Fall Guy, there's this scene where he's trying to save what's-her-name's life, and then she like beats a guy up in a trailer. And there was no reason to do that.
It was still a good movie. I like he did get to save the day.
But the point is they were measured. That yes, 20 years ago, she would have been completely useless and like perfunctory, but in this, she actually gets to save the day. That's what they did in Argylle, where the first half of the movie, she's a fish out of water in the spy world, and then all suddenly, zoink, her memories come back, and she's a fucking super spy. You know? Bryce Dallas Howard, super spy, but a super spy.
All of the vague associations that she's making don't have corresponding real life examples, except for the last one. She throws shade at Nara Smith, the cooking influencer, the fashion model who makes videos of herself like making cereal from scratch for her husband, who's also a supermodel. And they say, a social media star making a recipe while all dolled up and explaining her steps in a soft, sultry voice. You're an idiot. Yeah. Nara Smith's entire following is women who are jealous of her and love watching her videos because it's aspirational. Like, the idea that this is for men and that men are watching Nara Smith's video with their dick in their hands is completely detached from reality. Women like that content. Those are her fans. I mean, I guess there are just as many women who talk shit about Nara Smith and similar influencers, but, you know, the point still stands. Her fans are women. Yeah. Her, like, all of the women watching her videos are obsessed with her outfits, her recipes, her voice, her personality, her marriage, her family life. They like the aesthetic because it's unattainable. That's why they like it. That's why they follow her. Yep. It doesn't make them feel threatened to see something that is aspirational, that perhaps is out of reach for their own lives. It's just inspiring in and of itself.
That's why people watch travel Instagram channels, so they can see people go to like really, really beautiful villas and places to do videos. It's like, wow, I'm living here in the frickin' cold in the middle of, you know, the East Coast. I want to go look at something that's not the world I'm living in right now.
I have so many things to say about this. One is that I don't like this idea that art has to challenge us, that it has to make us uncomfortable. Why? I don't know where this idea really originated, vaguely, you know, sometime in the 20th century, but there's this idea that art has to make you feel uncomfortable, and if it's not making you feel uncomfortable, then it's not doing its job. That was never the purpose of art for all of human history. The purpose of art is really to communicate truth. And yes, the truth might make you feel uncomfortable, but the necessary component of beauty in art is for it to make the truth more palatable to the consumer of the art.
There's if we want to use the ladies as an example, there's a reason why the Hallmark Channel is bulletproof and will always make money. Why there's new movies made every year, why the same formula is memed into oblivion, but the ladies still show up to watch it. Because, you know, the girl, you know, the big city lawyer has to go to the small town with the guy who owns the pumpkin patch and then leave her husband at the 8-figure job because the guy at the pumpkin patch took over because his wife died and he's running it in her honor or something. Like, the formula just works, okay?
Yeah, and of course you have to address the counter argument, which is that there are plenty of women, including Sydney Sweeney, but many others, who lean into the male gaze for a profit.
Yeah.
Because that demand really never left. So she tries to address that here. Let me see where it is. When women sign on to the male gaze. Although the concept of the male gaze originally came from film and has expanded to television, art, and literature, it's deeply connected to finance. When the prevailing perspective in stories, art, and advertising is white and male, then those who don't align with those identities have less power, and no one is immune from the societies and cultures in which they live. Women sometimes turn the male gaze on one another. It happens when they objectify themselves. They're talking about Sydney Sweeney, of course. Promote traditional gender roles as the ideal way of living, and enforce beauty standards for others. Sometimes women think it's empowering to utilize the male gaze or to make a living in a society that profits financially off of their exploitation, and others do it to feel in control. Quote, I might as well sell my own sexuality before you do.
Does this make her a sex-negative feminist? Would she
Yes.
turn her nose up at the OnlyFans girls?
Probably. They do mention the trend of OnlyFans stars, you know, in the marketing stunt wars against each other, namely Bonnie Blue and what was her name? Lily Phillips, trying to one-up each other with worse and worse stunts on their OnlyFans platforms. So I think, you know, this is a sign that sex-negative feminism is making a comeback, but you feminists only have yourselves to blame for the sexual licentiousness that you spread with your movement. And yeah, they're on the right track in some ways. The sex negative Gen Z feminists do understand, just on a basic level, that sexualizing yourself is degrading, that selling your body online is inherently degrading, that you are demeaning yourself in doing so, but they're just not willing to take that idea to its natural conclusion, which is that, you know, sexuality needs to have guardrails, and that used to be considered the institution of marriage before everything went topsy-turvy and insane. I just think they're like directionally correct, hence the social media civil war between Gen Z feminists that's going on at the moment, which is interesting to watch from the sidelines. And I hope they can eventually, you know, conclude that like your sexuality has inherent value. But the proper weapon against women being objectified, which is a real thing, and I don't think that women should be objectified. The proper weapon against that is not ugly, it is beauty. Like, ugliness is not, we've proven now over the last 10, 15 years, ugliness is not a weapon against sexual degradation. Beauty and actual femininity is.
Okay.
Like, only beauty can humanize women. Ugliness will not do that. So, I mean, the battle has been fought and sexual license won. I'm not really on either side. I'm not on the side of like ugly, fat, blue-haired women on magazine covers or on the side of porn on TV. I think that that's just one of many battles that we're about to see take place in the culture. And I also want to mention, sorry, I'm just dragging this right now, but like the mention of the Bechdel test in this article, they get into the fact that this was originally a feminist theory about film and TV. The Bechdel test is basically you need to qualify for it by having two female characters talking to each other in this project about something other than men or a man. Which,
of course, the creator of the test later admitted was a joke and was not actually meant to be taken seriously.
It was from a comic strip by Alison Bechdel in 1985. In her comic strip titled Bikes to Watch Out For. I think you get what I'm putting down there. She said it was presented as a humorous criterion for judging movies, but she acknowledges the test's value in sparking discussions about gender representation in media, but is warned, however, it should not be used as a definitive measure of a film's quality or merit. Noting that a movie can be feminist even if it fails the test. She's criticized the tendency of some films to pass the test superficially.
Actually, it'd be really fun. It's like a whole movie about the vote that gave women the right to vote and then fails the Bechdel test. And they're like, sorry.
Oops. We have a 20 from Shane H. Wilder. They just don't like pretty things. I've used this quote before, but it bears repeating. Beauty is truth. Truth is beauty. That is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know. John Keats. Ode on a Grecian urn.
Okay.
I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Yeah. I think that we need to bring back a real cultural movement toward beauty, not just nudity and sex.
Okay.
That's what I see as the next step.
All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
Greg Duvier said, put a Seamus on, just not tomorrow. Why not?
Because Phil would be tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Is that like too much to handle in one day?
Is he even in town?
Yeah, he's in town. I mean, I'm assuming he was in town yesterday, or I saw him yesterday.
Well, we could reach out to him and see if he's available. BMF Nate Dogg said, what's up, guys?
What's up? How's it going?
What's up, dog? Corey Anderson said, any chance of doing episode 1000 in front of a live studio audience at Harper's Ferry Brewing, maybe?
I went to Harper's Ferry Brewing recently for dinner.
I heard they're really rude.
I mean, I don't deal with anybody that sells. I don't drink, so it was like all I dealt with was like the food truck.
Oh, okay.
And the food truck was fine.
There are no
actually no,
imminent,
because I got pizza. I got pizza from inside, so I did deal with employees. Yeah,
they're rude.
not rude.
I haven't been there.
But they're busy. I mean, it was really busy. Like they got stuff to do. It's not like he's like, all right, get the hell over here. No, they're just busy. It's fun.
There are no imminent plans of an episode in front of a live studio audience. To be transparent about that, we haven't talked about that, but it's a fine idea.
That would be cool. It'd be something
just
that
like,
has to get figured out.
I'm sure you can understand why people feel hesitant about doing that.
I mean,
these days,
that's not why I'm afraid. Mine's more like, what if like one person shows up and you're like, hey.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming if people buy tickets, they're going to show up. But yeah, there are pros and cons. Not that Jon Stewart said this Taco Bell is delicious.
I'm jealous.
What did you order? Tell us your go-to order at Taco Bell, guys. Corey Anderson said, is PCC going to test the thong? No. No, we're not.
No. Do two more.
Pop Culture Junkie. Oh, no. Corey Anderson said, I am part Armenian too and Danish, hence the name.
Is Corey Anderson
I didn't clock that as an Armenian or Danish name. Sounds pretty American to me. I don't know.
Do one more.
BMF Nate Dogg said, let it grow, maybe cut wee little designs in it.
Yeah, let's not say we did.
Yeah, no. Thanks.
All right, let's hold off on the rest. We've got more to talk about. Let's go.
So I've heard that the new trad wives of 2025 are in fact Gen Z men who have chosen the stay-at-home son lifestyle. They are done planning for their own careers. They have put their career plans behind them, moved back in with their parents, presumably actually they're single mothers, to be jobless and live in domestic bliss for the rest of their lives. They're being called also stay-at-home hub sons, hence
Holy
living
Oedipus.
with their single mothers.
My goodness.
They're the man of the house. They're the stand-in surrogate husbands for their single mothers to support their careers, and basically, wear an apron and cook mom dinner and clean the house and run errands and do the grocery shopping and the organizing, instead of dealing with all of the stress of adulting and having a 9-to-5 job. And they feature several examples here, both Gen Z and millennial men who have embraced this stay-at-home son lifestyle and have zero shame about it. One of them is a 34-year-old man named Luke Parkhurst, who got a whole photo shoot for this article, and I would like to show, do you have the photos here? It's really a must-see. This man in his kitchen with his apron on, preparing dinner for his mother. There he is cleaning the pool while she lounges in the sun. There are worse ones.
See, there's
too.
the guy who started this whole mishgas. That's the guy who said it on Jeopardy.
Right, but he might have been doing a bit, and then some people took it too seriously. Here's another photo of Luke with his mother on the couch, politely folding his hands over his lap. Here's him serving his mother dinner in his apron, cartoonishly laughing. Here's him with his mother resting her feet on his lap while he appears to be knitting something.
I think he's crocheting.
Crocheting, maybe, yeah. Cleaning the pool there. And there are some other examples. We'll dive into the article now. Yeah. Luke Parkhurst is living the dream, and at nearly 34 years old, he's doing it jobless and rent-free at his mother's house, a sweet setup that mom Patty loves. But the millennial's spongy life on Easy Street doesn't come as a totally free ride. Instead, it comes with the homemaking duties of a stay-at-home wife. Rather than loafing about all day, eating bonbons and scrolling through social media while Patty, a flight attendant, works, Luke's taking care of business around the abode.
Okay, Mr. Patty must have made a lot of money, because I don't know how the flight attendant affords a home with a pool.
Being a boomer helps.
Yes, it does.
Buying a home, 20, 30 years ago
definitely
helps.
For like $10 and a pack of bubble gum.
Yeah. He says, I'm a stay-at-home son. I do the grocery shopping, I cook steak for dinner, clean the pool, and fix things around the house. His is an unpaid, unproblematic position that's rising in popularity among the Gen Z and Gen Y2K guys. I guess they're referring to like the younger millennials. They're called trad sons by some, or hub son, as Patty likes to call it. Freud would like a word with you, Patty. This is when you take boy mom to its natural conclusion, by the way. The boy moms are out of control. Okay, you need to let him leave the nest eventually.
Well, look, this is also one of those things where it's a cultural thing in America where the argument was like, why do we kick them out at 18 with no way forward in society, right? Like a lot of other cultures, you stay home, you live at home until you're ready to, you have your full-time job, like a college degree, then a good job, then you settle down, you get married, you move into your own place, and there's this natural transition into adulthood. And adulthood doesn't mean 18, it means that you've fulfilled all the obligations that put you on a path to success.
Right.
We went the opposite direction. We was like, oh, it's 18, get the hell out of the house or pay rent. Right? And the boomers love that. Oh, sorry. I'm not going to.
We're going to be ageist.
I'm not going to crap on the boomers. I'm not going to. So it was a thing. It's like he needs to, break the glass ceiling. He needs to grab the brass ring. He needs to go out on his own and figure out the world for himself. And that was right around the time kids started going into crushing debt because of student loans. Yes. And that brings us to a predicament where its natural conclusion is stay-at-home hub son, because we don't know how to find a middle ground where the family actually just builds a life together and then somebody moves out at a more natural point in their life.
Look, I have zero problem with someone living at home to save money. This is a totally different conversation.
Yes, this is not that.
This man, Luke Parkhurst, at 34, he had a high-paying job that he voluntarily left in order to be the hub son to his single mom. They say that he used to be a door-to-door solar salesman making $170,000 a year.
Probably has a lot in savings then, too, if he was living at home at that point.
Yeah. But now he earns his keep doing housework and running errands in order to maintain his status. It's a Cinderella story in reverse. This is the problem. They're using a story like this to glamorize this stay-at-home son lifestyle, when in reality, the ugly reality, the stay-at-home son lifestyle is not one that the man in question has chosen. It's not his preference to live at home. He has to do it because our economy is in shambles, because it's impossible to afford to own a home that's completely out of reach for people in their 20s and 30s now, because our job market is oversaturated because we flooded our country with immigrants. And for countless other reasons, I could go down the list that are completely out of control of the Gen Z and millennial men and women these days. They don't bear any blame for that. But I can blame you for completely giving up on having any accomplishments whatsoever in order to be your mother's domestic servant in perpetuity. That is a choice. And they're using this, they're trying to romanticize the whole like trad son thing to distract from the fact that, you know, most of the young men in a situation like this are languishing and not, you know, enjoying themselves. Like, this wouldn't be the choice of most young men. They don't want to be failures. They want to accomplish things. They want to be independent. They want to have stable careers. They want to, even by the survey data, they want to get married and have families. More than even the young women in their same age cohort. They want all of these things.
And then maybe that's the other thing that really makes the most sense here is like he was making $170,000 a year. He could have, you know, time traveler steps on a spoon and he gets married, has kids, and builds a life with his wife.
What this is like a weird disordered attachment between a mother and son that, you know, you got to snip the umbilical cord. So I would like to show you a couple of TikToks from Luke's page. He also calls himself a slay-at-home son, by the way. Here's a video of him trying to take a shit.
Son, is everything okay? What? Mom! God, Mom, I'm 33 years old. Let me poop.
We're gonna miss our flight.
Golly.
Skit, but yeah.
Get the point, okay? And then in this other video, you see Luke preparing for a date with his mom's help.
Back from the gym. I have a formal date tonight. My mom's giving me no limit on her credit card. She's picked out an outfit and has bought the outfit for me to dress to impress. Let's see what Patty's got in store for me.
Why'd you come in here looking like that?
So his mom dresses him. His mom pays for everything he owns. His mom sends him to a date with her credit card. Well, never mind the fact that this lifestyle makes him undateable to the vast majority of women looking to get married.
We did a story while you were gone about like men going into debt to go on dates, and it was this like story about a woman who was on a date with a guy and he pulled out his mom's card to pay for dinner and said, "Do you want to split the drinks or should my mom pay for it?" And it was like, "May this love never find me."
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the point of it is that he doesn't really care about being dateable or marriageable. He just wants to...
And mom's going to play the mind games on him to make sure that that girl doesn't... that he doesn't actually end up liking that girl.
Exactly. She's sabotaging her son by allowing him to live this lifestyle.
She's going to be like, she could treat you better.
Right. And then they also note this other example in the article, an actual Zoomer who runs a merch line for stay-at-home sons. And he sells things like this hoodie that says, "Doing nothing is hard."
You know what we need, Mary? Mary, we need a hoodie that says, "Try being an influencer for a day."
Try being a stay-at-home son for a day. Try it. Because the people who think that this is easy are so fucking out of their minds.
That we need that merch.
Yeah, this Zoomer, he's a 24-year-old stay-at-home son from Chicago. And he says he isn't concerned with how his living situation will ultimately impact his love life.
Yeah, because he's got porn.
Exactly. And his parents are allowing this. His brand has an About Us section on the website. During the summer of 2023, 3 stay-at-home sons found themselves with a tea time every morning and dinner reservation at night. Exhausting, right? After countless hours of leisure, they realized doing nothing is one of the hardest things you can do because you never know when you're done. Thus, they created stay-at-home sons to bring together those who share a similar lifestyle.
One of my favorite accounts on Instagram is this guy. It's like a day in the life of the 27-year-old son of billionaires. And it's the funniest channel. Like, it's just such rage bait because he's just living. It's not even a mansion. It's like a castle.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Well, I know there's an element of tongue-in-cheek, like this is obviously not meant to be taken seriously, but it's more serious than they realize.
Yeah.
Like, this is precious time in your life that you're wasting. We have a 20 from Shane H. Wilder. The difference in the other countries and this Oedipal BS is that the young adults at home are working and learning to build something. It is perfectly fine to honor and do things for your parents, but this ain't it. I agree with you. And when I made a video about this article on Instagram, I got so many comments from men who thought that I was blaming Zoomers for their, dried up opportunities in this economy, and for the fact that their boomer parents don't want to give them a leg up in life. I'm not saying that in any way.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this guy Luke, this 34-year-old Oedipus, is representative of his age cohort. The majority of guys in their 20s and 30s want to be independent, and they want to have the ability to get married and support a family of their own. The data proves that. And if they're in a position where they have to live at home in order to prepare themselves for that stage of their life, which unfortunately is getting delayed for circumstances outside of their control, there is nothing wrong with that. But choosing to have zero aspirations other than being your mother's domestic servant, that is what we're criticizing here. And it's sinister that the experts and the journalists are spotlighting this as something glamorous and aspirational. They're doing that because they need to romanticize the fact that, like, young white males are unable to afford a home in 2025, and they need to distract from the fact that, being a stay-at-home son isn't a lifestyle choice. It's an unfortunate circumstance that most of them would never choose.
It's a reaction to the market we're in.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Super Chats.
Joshua Labor? I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm going to give you a slanted, quizzical look if you keep saying side-eyed in 2025. Short kings represent. I'm confused.
I confused.
I don't know what that means. Shane H. Wilder said, Brett, I already photoshopped you as Fatphobic over a year ago in front of his sheets with a mountain of tacos.
I mean, probably didn't even need to Photoshop it all that much. It's like, I made like I was like laughing last night because I told Olivia, I was like pulled out like old shirts. It's like the larges fit. I can wear the larges. I mean, I still wear the XLs anyways because I prefer large shirts, but I can wear the large if I want to.
Skinny legend.
And that's what matters.
You've reached skinny legend status. How does it feel?
Should
we call Bella Hadid?
Yes. It's liberating.
I love that meme where like girls say performative things like, oh my gosh, I like forgot to eat today. Like all I had was an iced coffee. And then you just say like, wow, should we call Bella Hadid? Yeah.
Whereas like, thing is for me, I don't think that could ever happen to me because I like snacks too much. I love snacks.
I'm not really into snacks. I'm gonna like eat an entire buffet or nothing.
Yeah, like
I'm all or nothing.
But a big thing that they point out is like a big part of it, like when you get into bad habits, it's like you're not hungry, you're just bored. So it's like when I go skate, skating for me isn't good for your health because of the physical activity. It's good because it's keeping you from sitting around and eating chips.
As long as you're doing something other than hand to mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
That's probably a good thing. Pop Culture Junkie said, having done some media training, I would consider Keira Knightley's response to that inane question as a perfect example of what to do.
Yep.
I guess that was before, media training and PR got overrun with activists, Potatoes for Seamus said, knock knock. Hi, Brett. We would like to talk to you about our Lord and Savior Mocha. Do you have a moment? Don't run away from your feelings. Hi, Mary.
Look, I said today in the chat that you're allowed to like things. You're allowed to like mocha. Somebody asked that. Wow. They said, even mocha?
Never thought I'd hear you say that.
Well, yeah, I love mocha.
Oh, the truth comes out at last. Cancel Lincoln, the betrayal of 1776. Haven't seen that username before. Came to Timcast for Tim, left Timcast because of Tim, came back to Timcast for PCC. Hello from a trucker.
Hello.
Well, hello
Thank you.
there. Don't know what your falling out was with Tim. I would love to know if you would elaborate on that.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in.
We do appreciate
your support. BMF Nate Dogg said, I still watch Hook with Robin Williams. If you haven't watched it as an adult, then you're missing out. So classic.
I have not seen it in a very long time. A very classic cover for a movie, though. One of the great classic movie covers.
I think we need to bring back those 2000s rom-com movie posters where it's just a white background and they're
the
like
black text and the faces.
like
up
the
in
female character's like pulling his tie and they're like
the proposal.
like something like that. Just like quirky faces.
I see the one. It's Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock from like The Proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really need to do a deep dive into like, you know, watching those like Crazy Stupid Love.
See, so
Bridesmaids.
I remember seeing The Holiday when I was young, and that's one of those ones that's now considered problematic. It's like, that's a really white cast. I don't know if we can make that movie in 2025, but you know, I might have to rewatch that one this year.
Oh, and Meet the Fockers.
Yep.
That's not really a Christmas movie, is it? I consider it a Christmas movie.
Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
If you consider a Christmas movie, it is.
And similarly, I still think of both Rush Hour movies as Christmas movies.
I'm gonna I might even do a rewatch of those and like do some review. Maybe I'll start doing classic movie reviews. Like because I did this whole video today where I worked out my feelings about
Your
like
fifis.
about comfort shows and movies, which is basically like I don't have the emotional bandwidth to do new all the time because Hollywood is so based on IP now. It's like, oh, you want to watch Alien Earth? Well, do you know all of the lore about all of the Alien franchise ever? And then it's different because we have like where we are like in this space. If I like something, people then are going to expect me to talk about it. And then I'm like, well, what if I don't know anything about the previous parts of the franchise, having seen Alien and Aliens, and that's it? Like, I don't want to have to know a whole bunch of stuff about everything that gets made today. So I don't want to watch new stuff. I want to watch old stuff.
That's okay, and you're valid.
Thank you. That's
You're
what matters.
seen, heard, and validated.
That's what set me off the other day when they did that in Tony and Ziva. Like the therapist said, like your feelings are valid, and I nearly threw the remote at the TV and like stormed out of the room.
I feel like a therapist shouldn't tell you that your feelings are valid.
They shouldn't.
Like, shouldn't they be challenging you to think deeper about your
there's
feelings?
There's this Instagram channel with this guy. It's like AKG or ACG, and he does a character called Dr. David Blaine, and he's a therapist who's just evil and awful to all his patients.
All right.
It's amazing.
I'm down.
Dr. something Blaine, not David Blaine. Dr. Jonah Blaine? Something Blaine. It's great.
Value in You said, Mary, who is another online female personality you generally agree with and really like, and why? Do you feel Shoe on Head generally has good takes? It's interesting that you mentioned Shoe on Head because I was like, not that I'm not a fan of her anymore, but in high school, I was like obsessed with her. I watched all of her videos. That was kind of a golden era of YouTube.
I still do watch all her videos.
I haven't watched her videos in a while, and I need to play catch up.
It's one of the few accounts where, like, when I see a new 30-minute video, I go through phases, not to take it away from your answer, but I go through phases where, like, a channel will, especially if they release semi-regularly, that you get in the habit of watching them on the way to work. I've been doing that a lot recently with like Stevie Richards. He's an ex-wrestler, now YouTuber. This guy named James Romero. But back to your point.
Yeah, so I like Shoe on Head. I really like HRH Collection.
But that's like, is that like long form content? I thought that was mostly just Instagram videos screaming at the phone.
It's just an online female personality I generally agree with and like. So I think she falls under that definition.
Yeah.
And she does talk about her opinions about like relationships and politics and stuff like that. Like she's screaming at the camera, yes, but she's talking about her opinions and I like them. I just like her general demeanor. And
How about this? Who is somebody you'd like to end up on an episode of IRL with, given like if we were to keep it in the political space?
Gosh, I don't know who like in the political space, because I don't really consume a lot of outright political commentary.
Yeah, but a lot of the women in the space, they kind of go between the politics and the cultural issues.
Yeah.
Like in Amala.
Sure, like she's cool. I don't know. Like Sarah Stock is also cool, but she's more in the political space, and I just don't really consume political content like that. But yeah, she seems like a cool person. I do listen to Red Scare. Maybe a lot of people don't know that about me.
Maybe in
like
early
them.
days of this podcast, they might have known about that. I think you talked about more earlier.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say I generally agree with like all of their takes either, but who do you agree with about everybody or about everything? But I like them, and
I only watch people who agree with me 110%.
Yeah, I don't know who else I want to shout out, because then I'd be blowing up their spot. No, it's just a poor reflection on them if I'm a fan.
No, that literally happened the other day. It was like Woody Allen remembers Diane Keaton. It's like the cosign you never wanted.
I don't know if I've even mentioned this podcast on PCC before, so I might not mention it, like the name. But there's a very normie podcast hosted by a couple of Catholic women that I really like. I just don't want to shout it out because...
Don't want to blow up their spot.
I don't know. Like, I just don't know if those worlds should collide.
I mean, I feel that way about a lot of the content that I like. Like, not necessarily the political, but like the stuff that I like tends to be so far away from this stuff now. Like when I see people in the, like I love, like I don't really watch a whole lot of the content that I watched 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. Like I don't watch a lot of the people that cover stuff in this space. Because one, it's stuff we're already covering a lot of the times, and two, it gets to be too much.
I'm gonna actually peruse my following list to see who else there might be. But I really like Brittany from Evie Magazine. Andrea Mew is a friend of the show who contributes there. And like a lot of their writers. Alex Clark, I think, is incredible. She just has a really good instinct for like not following trends. She's good at like generating conversations. I listen to a lot of Candace Owens. Billy Ray Brandt is cool. Who else?
Like everything for me now is like long form retrospectives. I'll watch the Film Threat reviews. When Film Threat goes up, I watch Film Threat reviews. I watch the Jeremy Johns movie reviews. I listen to Salamonster Sounds Off talk about wrestling. I listen to Stevie Richards talk about wrestling.
Well, what about women? Why don't you support women?
I said Shoe on Head. I listened to Shoe on Head.
Who else? I love Libby. Libby's an icon.
There's and I listen to the
and Megyn Kelly. I do listen to Megyn Kelly too.
Chris Van Vliet interviews. Slipmaker is like if you're looking for long form retrospectives on movies and television, Slipmaker does great stuff. JB Spooky reviews I've shouted out numerous times here. There's an account called Primes Theater who does long form retrospectives on stuff.
Ooh. I also love The War on Beauty, that YouTube channel run by Julia James Davis. She has an Instagram page that's really big as well. I think she's great. She talks about mostly like fashion, beauty, art. I think she's studied art history. I think that's really interesting stuff.
Macabre Storytelling is another great YouTube channel.
I also listen
Sorry, ladies. Nothing.
I listen to this podcast that's sort of like, they do like trend forecasting for memes and fashion and beauty trends, things like that. It's called Nymphet Alumni. I like those hosts as well.
Ethan Miller said Jester Bell is a cool channel. I listened to some of it. She does good work, but again, that's stuff that's like too close to what we cover here, that the stuff I'm looking for is usually away from the type of news that we cover.
Shut up, Mary. I hate the way she said women. It was annoying how she said it. Okay, man. Pop Culture Junkie sent us a 20. I actually subscribe to you folks so I don't have to subscribe to a lot of other stuff that would take up too much time.
There you go.
Well, you're welcome, I guess, for
Happy
condensing it for you.
And then a lot of the other stuff for me is like I listen to like long form reviews of old shows. And these are not new. Like they were done years ago and I re-listened to them. Like I re-listened to reviews of
like reviews you've already
it's like channels. So there was channels. David Vox Mullen, I've mentioned him. He did the podcast of interest. To this day, I'm like still petitioning him to like re-upload them because the server got taken down, so they're not there anymore. But there was also channels that did like episode by episode reviews of shows like Arrow back in the day, and I'll go back to like favorite episodes of shows and then re-listen to the reviews that these did. A lot of X-Files podcasts did that. Kumail Nanjiani, the actor, had one called the X-Files Files before he even got a chance to even be in the X-Files. He was on Silicon Valley at the time before the X-Files rebooted, and he was just doing an episode by episode. Not all the episodes, but he would review them with other guests. So I'd listen to that. That was like golden era for me in like 2014 to 2016.
Was that like is that a before he was super annoying?
He was famous already, so I don't consider him in those reviews to be annoying. Like most of it is like I listen to it now and I kind of roll my eyes, but that's just because my feelings and thoughts on Hollywood have changed since then. But at the time, I'm like, yeah.
Carnell said, Brett, is it fair to use the horror genre as an example of the ongoing trope of your damsel in distress question?
I mean, the horror genre, more so than any other genre, tended to, as much as they, again, I'm not a horror expert. I'm not. So don't take my word as gospel. But more so than any other genre for its time, think about the success of like Scream. Neve Campbell was like an icon, and she survived every movie through wit and cunning. And being awesome. So in a lot of ways, I don't see it that way. More female characters survived the Scream horror franchise, with Courtney Cox surviving, with Neve Campbell surviving, Gail and Sydney, and then Dewey made it. I won't give any spoilers for later films, but Dewey made it for the most part. But I feel like those, they kind of played on the trope that women died in horror movies. Sure, that's true. I put a post up the other day, and then so we started doing this thing here where Alex will put like my tweets up on the community posts on here, and I put one up the other day for Joel, the smartest character in movie history. He was the cameraman for Gale in Scream 2, and when people start dying, he just leaves town. He's like, I'm out of here. And then when the killing stops, when they get the bad guys, he comes back and he gets his job back. The smartest character in television history. So no, I don't think that the women were necessarily like that. It's like that. I don't watch a lot of horror films these days, though, so you may be right. But you'd have to ask somebody who watches a lot of horror movies.
There are plenty of dudes that die in horror movies, though.
Well, I mean, the big part of it was like, it was like, have sex, you die.
Yeah.
It was a moral lesson.
Yeah, it was more like a veiled PSA about premarital.
Yeah, shouldn't be doing it. Don't drink alcohol. Don't do drugs. Don't have sex before you're married, and you don't have to worry about getting hacked up.
Thank you, guys. I never ended up watching it because I knew I was going to be too scared. But the one called It Follows, I believe. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Like you just get followed by, it's like, it's walking at you. It's like a demon that's constantly walking in your direction. And you can't outrun it no matter where you go.
Yeah.
But like she caught it. Like the protagonist, I believe in the story, caught the demon by having premarital sex, which I thought was an interesting concept. I like it. I like where they're going with that. Thank you for the crisis party, by the way.
Thank you, guys.
In case I forgot to say that. No Control said, that's just called being a mama's boy?
No, it went far beyond that.
Yeah, I would say being called your mom's hub son at the age of 34 is definitely going beyond mama's boy territory and into, well, Corey Anderson, I'm not reading that super chat out loud, but that's kind of what I'm getting at there. Censored 86 said intentional ugliness is just another form of objectification. It's just an objectification that reflects disgust rather than lust. I agree with that, and that's a good way of putting it.
That was very that was very enlightening.
That sounded very sarcastic.
No, I'm not. It was like I wouldn't have been able to phrase it that way. That was really good.
Yeah, y'all impress us sometimes.
Mm-hmm. See, that's my biggest fear is like people think I'm being sarcastic and I'm not. That's life in a nutshell for me on X when I post. Like, I'm kidding 99% of the time, and most of the time they don't know when I'm kidding.
See, my tweets are not gonna make it onto the community tab on this channel. Like my tweet today being like, people love acting like they've never said the N-word before.
I don't think we're going to put that
We're not going to put that on the channel. Yeah. Yours are more PR friendly.
Yes, just slightly so.
I appreciate that.
I do not believe the person the other day who said they didn't know who Alec Baldwin was on my page, though.
Oh, yeah, that was weird.
I posted that Fetterman, it should be
I'm sorry,
Baldwin.
You have internet access and you don't know who Alec Baldwin is.
He said, I don't think John Fetterman has what it takes to be president. No idea who Alec Baldwin is. I was like, really?
The humble brag shit about not knowing who a celebrity is just like the most infuriating shit ever. Like, what's a Lana Del Rey?
Yeah.
What's a Taylor Swift?
Yeah. So proud to have never heard a single song by that person.
There were people saying that they hadn't heard of Taylor Swift
until
like 2023. Yeah. You have got to be kidding.
Yep.
Like, maybe there's one person who said that and actually meant it.
We've got a Rumble rant here from Grunmeister. Says Kim Kardashian is so offensive to humanity that if Jesus Christ came back today, he'd become a fan and best friend of Ronnie Radke.
Wait, what? I'm not sure I
read
understand
that
the point.
As it said, Kim Kardashian is so offensive to humanity that if Jesus Christ came back today, he'd become a fan and best friend of Ronnie Radke. Do those two connect somehow?
I don't know. Maybe he's just saying that Ronnie Radke is like such a chaos agent.
Okay.
But he's nothing in comparison to Kim Kardashian in that regard. I want to put Ronnie Radke on blast a little bit right now. Mm-hmm. He liked my reel today. Yeah. About Haley Williams, and I was like, yes, let's go. I need a follow back.
Grunmeister says, I am the stay-at-home. He says, I am the at-home son. I make about $45K a year right now from my job alone, but I can't afford any apartments. That's the truth. But I am lucky that I have a condo I can rent out, but it's still not quite feasible.
Well, that means that you're not the guy that we're criticizing at all, because you have a job and have plans to eventually be able to support yourself. This guy he had a high-paying job and gave it up because he was like, it's too stressful.
That was literally my life for a very, very long time, because when, before my mom passed, my mom was very, very sick for a long time, and I always had a job, but I had to, she couldn't live on her own. She needed somebody to help take care of her. So that was my reality for a very, very long time.
That just, I don't think it's a fair comparison to compare yourself to that weirdo in the New York Post article. Yep. At least I hope you're not anything like him. E7Z45 said, send the asteroid already, or AI death bots. I don't care. Well, it's not black pill, guys. Yep. Not all hope is lost yet. Greg Duvier said, Rush Hour, a Christmas movie based take. I feel like that might have been controversial, but to me it's just like it was a family movie, so we would watch it during the holidays. Yeah. And the first Rush Hour, maybe it was the second, I don't remember which, came out like right before Christmas in 1998.
That would have been the second one then.
The second one?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's technically a Christmas movie.
Chris Tucker is a great example of the excellence of delivery, of line delivery.
But it's just such a shame that he walked away from acting.
Yeah.
Like, being that talented, I get that you've made enough money, you don't have to act anymore to support yourself, but like, that's such a loss for the culture. You know?
I don't know what he does. I think he does stand-up still, I think. I think he was at that Riyadh Comedy Festival. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I could be.
He was at one point the highest paid actor, like period. And now that's Scarlett Johansson, isn't it?
Yes. Or at least it was last year.
Or is she the highest paid actress?
She's the highest grossing actress.
So not actor. Let me see.
I don't remember what he did,
is.
but
it says The Rock is the highest paid actor as of 2024, earning an estimated $88 million, according to Forbes, for no reason whatsoever because his movies flop. Well, they don't all flop, but like a good amount of them flop. He's overpaid.
What's Chris Tucker doing these days?
He's got
he's got some sporadic credits. He was in something called Air in 2023. Tito Jackson, Love One Another, a music video in 2021, playing himself. Silver Linings Playbook back in 2012. So
that's pretty much the last one.
And then Rush Hour 3 in 2007 before that.
Oh, I don't know if I ever did watch Rush Hour 3.
I saw it once, but never.
Was it okay?
It was so long ago.
Probably not.
So
if you don't remember it, it probably wasn't good.
It says, it's literally in his IMDb trivia. During a 9-year period from 1998 to 2007, the only films Chris Tucker appeared in were the 3 Rush Hour movies. Yeah, I would too. In 1999, he signed a 2-picture deal for $45 million with New Line Cinema, including $20 million to co-star in Rush Hour 2. The second movie was Rush Hour 3. Yeah, make your bag, King, and then get the hell out. That's what I would have done. Yeah,
I can't blame him. Corey Anderson said Shu's last video was on Morning Glory Milking Farm. Yeah, Brett was telling me about it.
Yeah, it's so much worse than even what we covered on this video or on this channel.
I wanted to know, like, can you summarize like her theory?
No, I just told you that earlier.
Why women like this stuff?
I'd have to watch it more than once.
You said it's because there are like aspects to the stories where like because he's a mythological creature, he's allowed to break
traditional gender roles or not. There's none of the baggage of actual human men.
He's like a provider and like very traditionally masculine in the story, but a human character wouldn't be able to get away with that.
He goes out of his way
to be a feminist audience.
Well, he goes out of his way to be like, I know you don't need the help, but I'm taking care of you. Like as if to like affirm her, like I know you got a job.
I know you're a boss ass bitch.
Well, yeah, she has to be like because in a like they're like so you're telling me we live in a world where they can milk goats or they can milk minotaurs, but student debt still exists? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I mean, you wouldn't need to read Morning Glory Milking Farm to get your rocks off if you just stopped being a feminist. Like, there's an easy way out of this. You've put yourself in a mental prison.
Well, it's like the meme that's like it's OnlyFans, but it's one man who's a fan and you bear his children and he takes care of you.
Literally like the meme of the bird cage and there are 2 bars on the bird cage.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me out. Corey Anderson, Shane H. Wilder said, I might get canceled today. I took Tim's new slur and made MWA Migas with attitudes straight out of Chicken City. The M word being a slur for MAGA.
Oh, no, that's maggots. They say maggots if they want to be mean to you.
Tim made up the one... Maggers. They're called maggers now. Okay. We were making fun of the term wokesters earlier.
I mean, that's just one of those ones that one of those bot accounts is going to say wokester. It's just a picture of Sydney Sweeney walking. It says wokesters hate this.
Triggered
wokesters? Liberal.
Wokesters. Corey Anderson said Shane has his finger on the pulse of the Timcast enterprise. LOL. Shane Cashman or Shane H. Wilder?
He means Shane H. Wilder.
I didn't know about the new slur though.
If anybody ever asks, they're like, "Did you hear this thing that was going on with like something at the company?" I'm like, "No."
Genuinely, yeah. I'm not like really paying that much attention. We're just doing our own thing over here, and I'm okay with that. Potatoes for Seamus said, "Who remembers the People's Joker?" Brett remembers.
I do remember the People's Joker.
We remember it fondly.
Yeah, but that like Stockholm syndromed me into like liking it. By the time we got done showing that to people, I'm like, this guy's delivery is kind of spot on.
Yeah,
like, guy's got charisma. Let's go.
There was talent there.
Yep.
Corey Anderson said, I usually listen to the show chilling in my basement while playing video games. My dog Rizzo just let out the... Okay, I'm not going to say that. What do you want me to say to that?
You don't have to answer.
What kind of response were you looking for? I'm
did
sorry
see-
that happened. Congratulations. I'm not reading all that.
I did see James Lindsay's post about how he used to play video games until he turned 25 and then he stopped playing video games, and basically like we do live in this world where conservatives just love to lose, and they're just like, hey, like I think I want to create a shirt. Like I've kind of changed my mind. I'm okay with ACAB as long as it's the fun police that you're protesting. So it's like when it comes to the fun police, I'm ACAB. I am.
Not that Jon Stewart said, damn it, Corey. Seconded. Shane H. Wilder said, horror literally has a trope called the final girl. Although the final girl is supposed to be chaste, It Follows was actually good.
So, okay, so that's the thing. Like in Scream, that's the trope they play on there, which is like in the movie, in the first Scream. I'm going to give away some spoilers here, so I apologize. The bad guy, killer number one, is Billy Loomis, who is Sydney's boyfriend. And Billy wants to have sex. And Sydney is like, I don't really want to. I've got trauma because of my mom died a couple years ago. And, I'm not sure if I'm ready for all that. Then by the final act of the movie at the house, she has sex with Billy. And then Billy dies before you realize that they faked it and he was one of the killers. And they point out, they're like, you had sex, now you gotta die. Mm-hmm. But they turned that trope on its head.
Was Neve Campbell chaste?
Oh, the actress?
No, the character.
I mean, she was a virgin. I don't know. Yeah, I know. You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Essentially,
like,
what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. New Guy Don't Haze Me said, a YouTuber I really like is Emily W. King. She really understands the struggles of men, and it helps that she is strikingly beautiful. Hashtag not simping. Bro, you are simping.
She creates the similar content to like the Dadvocate.
I don't know if I've watched either of them.
Okay, they're kind of like men. They're like in the sphere of like men get a bad rap and they cover stuff that's like women shitting on men.
Mm-hmm. Corey Anderson said the response would be laughing at my misery, Mary. Yeah, I don't really want to respond to that though. Pop Culture Junkie said, I paid for a hypnotist to get the People's Joker out of my memory. I hope that's a joke. Hope it wasn't that traumatic for you.
In the chat, Paramount Majestic mentions that he didn't die. Yes, no, they faked Billy's death with corn syrup. But I've got a question for anybody who's watched any of the Scream movies. What was the best reveal of Ghostface? Because there's a reveal in every movie. And in that one, so there's something they did different in Scream 1 as opposed to the rest of them. Granted, I don't really remember the reveal from 6 or whatever it was. But in 1, basically, Stu is revealed by holding the voice changer and using it and saying, surprise, Sydney. And he throws it to Billy and says, what's the matter, Sydney? Looks like you've seen a ghost. And it doesn't sound anything like the voice on the phone because they use the actual voice changer, which doesn't actually change your voice all that much. And it certainly doesn't sound like Roger L. Jackson, which is the person who voiced the character of Ghostface. But when they got to Scream 2 and they did the review with, I forget Timothy Oliphant, but I forget the character's name. But when he's revealed, he does surprise Sydney with the voice changer, but they dub in the line from Roger Jackson, and it works way better. Mickey, the character's name is Mickey. I hope somebody didn't say it in the chat. I'm not looking. Ruined my street cred. And then from that movie on, they use the... they actually dub in Roger L. Jackson's voice in there, and it works way better. And I think I actually like the reveal of Mickey better, even though it's not nearly as cool as the one from part 1.
E7Z45 said, Mary's charm always dropping the hard R, hashtag maggers. Okay. Potatoes for Seamus. I don't want to read that either. And I think that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we go, Would you hit the like button? The timing today was just perfect. It's 4:59. Hit the like button on this video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here and you have not subscribed here yet already. Please and thank you. Mary, where can they find you?
You guys can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived. And help me get TikTok famous. That is also Mary Archived. And I would regret not mentioning, again, go to castbrew.com and grab Mary's Ghost Blend. It's perfect. Make sure you get one before Halloween. It's perfect for cozy autumn nights, telling ghost stories together.
Perfect. One more Rumble rant here from Woody. Says, finally caught y'all live. You make 10-hour days in the truck bearable. No, thank you for watching us.
Love our trucker crisis actors.
Yes, for anybody that...
Our crisis truckers.
Crisis truckers. Anybody that makes this podcast part of their day, while they're working, doing whatever it is, we really, really appreciate it. Value in You said, Brett, how do you remember these things or know these things? It's because I watch the same things over and over again, and then details spawn off that just stick in my brain. So again, guys, hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram and X at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. This show is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is, of course, noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than just watch the show, you can also rate and review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, which is a great way to help the channel out. If you want to follow us on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook at popculturecrisis, Instagram at popculturecrisispod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.